Okay, so kita start kelas kita hari ini dengan chapter 2. So in this chapter 2, you will learn about C++ programming, a basic of C++ programming. Before we proceed with the class, I would like to start our kuliah today by Al-Fatihah and doa masing-masing ya. Okay, so if we recall, last chapter is about introduction to programming concept, which is you were introduced with how many steps in SDM, software development method? Anyone can recall? How many steps?
6 steps.
6 steps. Okay, Aziz. Thank you, Aziz. So there are 6 steps of SDM, right? So for the first step is requirement spec. Okay, requirement specification. After you done the requirement specification, then we go to the data analysis. In this data analysis, you will find out what is the input required by your system, what is the output required to produce by your system, is there any process involved in your system, and is there any constraint for your system. Okay, after you've done the second step, then you go to the third step, which is design. What you need to design is an algorithm. What is algorithm? Algorithm is a step-by-step to solve the problem, or step-by-step to do the task for your program. Okay, in this algorithm, to represent algorithm, you can use two tools. Okay, first you can use pseudocode, and second you can use flowchart. What is the difference between? Give one difference between pseudocode and flowchart. Amirul, boleh? Apa perbezaan di antara pseudocode dan flowchart?
Pseudocode tu dia just macam ni. Flowchart tu dia steps juga, cuma dia in shapes lah.
Dia dalam bentuk graphical kan?
So dia yang grafik punya. So different types of shapes represent different type of steps.
Okay. So how about the pseudocode, Amirul? Dia represent dalam bentuk apa?
Dalam bentuk words dia lah.
Text kan?
Text.
Okay. So that one is the main difference between between pseudocode and flowchart. So for your course, for this class, for the time being, you need to familiar with these two, the pseudocode and the flowchart. But later on, you may provide only one, maybe pseudocode or maybe only flowchart. Okay. So after you design, you do the design, you provide the design for your problem solution, then you go to the next step, which is implementation step. In this implementation step, you will implement all the design. That you suggested in step number 3. Okay, how you will implement? You will implement this the steps in design by using C++ programming language. Why C++ programming language? Because in this course, we learn on C++ programming language. Okay, you can implement the pseudocode or the flowchart using any programming language that you want to. Let's say you nak guna Java, you nak guna C, you nak guna Visual Basic, or you want to do web programming. So mesti dia ada design first, mesti ada the first 3 steps ni dulu before you go to the implementation. So for this course, we will implement the design by using C++ programming language. Okay, after you write the code in step 4, then you need to do the testing. Okay, so that one is step number 5. You need to do the testing and you need to verify, okay, whether the written code can produce the output that you want to. Okay, after the code can produce the expected output, then we will do the documentation. Okay, so biasanya step yang terakhir adalah documentation and maintenance. But since your program is a small program, then we only do the documentation, right? There is no maintenance for this course. Okay, for this course, you will not continue the programming from the project from this course to another course. So there is no need for do the maintenance. Okay, so kita hanya akan buat documentation. Right? So since you dah belajar tentang the first 3 steps in previous class, so we will go to the second 3 steps. Yang nombor 4, nombor 5 dan juga nombor 6 ni. Okay? For today. Right? So basically we will repeat this chapter again and again and again until end of this course, meaning that until we complete chapter 5. Okay, so meaning that this chapter is a fundamental for chapter 3, chapter 4 and chapter 5. Right? So for new student, Divan dan juga Chin, saya adalah Puan Zarina Tukiran. So saya adalah bawah kluster Computer Engineering, right, dalam Department Electronic Engineering. Right, so you can contact me beside my phone number using WhatsApp. You can also contact me using my this one, my email. Okay, kat screen you clear tak? Nampak clear tak?
Yeah.
Clear dia punya ni. Okay. So hopefully by end of this chapter you will know about these things. Okay, will know about this thing. Whether you can implement it or not, that one is another issue. Maybe after some practice, then you can implement all these programming in C++. Okay, right. So we will start with the basic of C++ program, then proceed with the preprocessor directive. Then what is data type, the string type, what is how to instruct C++ to produce the output, how to instruct C++ to receive inputs, how to do the process, the mathematical equation. Okay, that one is covered in this expression subtopic. Then you will use operators and operator precedence. Operators, there are 3 operators: arithmetic operators, relational operator, and satu lagi adalah equality operators. Okay. Lastly will be the input type conversion. This is for formatting for the input, right? Okay. So hopefully by introducing you with these 9 subtopics, you will get familiar with the basic components of the C++ and explore what is data types, the operators, okay, the expression, how to use assignment statement, how to use string data type, how to use input statements, output statements, and how to use increment and decrement operators, pre-processing directive, also comments, and how to write the whole program of C++. Okay, so this is just definitions about what is a computer program. Computer program is a sequence of statements to accomplish a task. Okay, so the programming is a process planning and creating a program. Right. So before we start to do the code, there are skeleton, the framework that needs to be there before you can put the code. So basically, in C++ programming, in the white box here is the general description on what is must uh, in the in the framework. Okay, it must start with the list of preprocessor directive, then followed by this is compulsory. Int is stand for integer. Okay, int is stand for integer, right? Int main. Main is the name of function. Okay, so function main is compulsory in all C++ programming, right? So then you will see the curly bracket here, okay, a pair of curly bracket, the open and the close. This to indicate the begin of main function, and this is to indicate the end of main function. Okay, between these two curly bracket, you will have variable declarations. If you need inputs for your program, then you will do the variable declarations. And here you will provide all the statements step by step statements to to do the what to tell to the program, to tell to the computer what to do. Okay, this is contain the step by step. The return 0 is a compulsory uh, compulsory statement to indicate to the main function that this is the last statement in this main function. Okay, so return 0 meaning that this is the last statement for main function. There is no other statement after return 0. Okay, right. So the gray box here is a simple program to show that to a simple program in C++. Okay, we start with, if you can see here, hash include IO stream. So hash include IO stream is one of the preprocessor directive. So what is the name for this preprocessor directive? This preprocessor directive is include, right? So what is included in the program is IO stream. IO stream is stand for input output stream, right? So using namespace std, using namespace, these two are keywords. in the program, in the C++ program, while the std is the name or variable or identifier that is used in the C++ to indicate that the functions, the library contains the library contains all the identifier in the library. Okay, then okay, these statements inside these two curly braces is actually the steps to produce high, okay, to display high. So this is just a simple program. So what is the basic in C++ program? Actually, a C++ program contains a collections of function, okay, collections of subprogram called functions, right? The compulsory function in the program is main function, right? If the C++ program has only one function, it must be the function main. Yang tadi itulah, okay, yang ni, yang you nampak int main. So the compulsory function is main function. Okay, for example, in this code, kalau you lihat, there is a number at the left. So it is just to indicate that this is line number. Okay, line number for this statement. Okay, so if you can see here, if you can refer to this line number 3, line number 3 is about preprocessor directive include. Okay, where it includes the IO stream library. So this is the, in line 5 is the main function, and return 0 is the compulsory for to indicate that this is the end of main function. Right. So in this program, there are three. Okay, there are three components that you must learn, which is special symbols, words, and syntax rules. Syntax rules tell which statements are legal or accepted by the programming language and which are not. So you must also learn about semantic rules, which determine the meaning of the instructions. Okay, so comments. What is comments? So this is one of the component in the C++ program. Comments is actually a description on the program. Okay, this is a way you communicate with the reader to your program. Okay, let's say you write your code, and I want to review your code. So your code must provide comments so that I can understand what is your code actually do. Okay, so in your comments in the program, mostly the comments state about the author, the date of the program, okay, and brief explanation of the program, and also the meaning of key statements in the program. Okay, biasanya ada 4 ni lah dalam you punya dalam program tersebut. So these comments is actually step number 6. Okay, is steps number 6, documentation. Right? So basically in the program, for your documentation, so you need to provide who's the author, where, when, okay, by giving the date, some briefing about what is the program all about, and the explanation of the key statement. Okay, so dia biasanya ada 4 ni. Right. So actually the comments is for the reader, not for the compiler. Meaning that the compiler will ignore all your comments. Okay, of course, there is no syntax error when the compiler reads the comments. So how to indicate comments in the C++ program? You can indicate in two ways, by using single line comment or multiple line comments. So in single line comment, you use double slash, okay, where it can be placed anywhere in the line, right? So everything counted in that line after double backslash is ignored by the compiler. Okay. Kalau sekiranya you nak buat multiple line comments, so multiple lines comments can be implemented by using this pair of symbol, the backslash and the star, a star and the backslash. So anything between these two symbols, okay, it considered as a comment, right? Right. Sebagai contoh, this is an example. So as you can see here, line number 1 and line number 2 consist comments. Okay, biasanya, usually the comments is written in green color. Okay, so if you want to provide a comment before the program, then let's say for the description, you can use multiple line comment. So the first symbol is on the line 1, but the next symbol to indicate this is the end of comment is on the next line. Okay. So here it also shows you the single line comment where it can be put anywhere in the line. So for example here, this is the key statement for this program. So I just put it here, prints greeting. Okay, apa greeting yang dia nak bagi ialah selamat datang ke UTHM, right? So this is how you implement comments or you want to provide documentation on your program. Okay, so this is the next component that you need to understand in C++ program, which is token. Okay, token are divided into three: special symbols, word symbols, and identifiers. So in the special symbols is as listed in this table. So for example here, let's say you nampak ada comma sini. Comma ni adalah digunakan to separate items in a list. Okay, for example, let's say you have object A, you have object B. Both objects are integer type. So you boleh buat begini, int A, B. It means that A is integer type, B is also integer type. Okay. The semicolon is to indicate end of C++ statement. Okay. So if you forget to put the semicolon at the end of C++ statement, there will be a compiler error. Okay. So make sure when you have a message of error such as missing semicolon, then you know the statements miss the semicolon. Okay. The mathematical symbol, saya rasa tak ada masalah untuk kamu. Okay, only this one. This one is indicates multiplication. Alright. Backslash is to indicate divide. Okay, divide operation. So there are tokens that made up by two characters like this. Okay, if you have this, the less operator and equal operator, okay, this will be treated as a single symbol. Okay, right. So kita pergi ke the second token, which is reserved word. Reserved word sometimes we call as keywords. Okay, that one is under word symbols. Okay, in C++, all reserved words are always lowercase. Okay, are always lowercase. Right? So the word symbols cannot be redefined within any program. That is, they cannot be used for anything other than their intended use. For example, just now you saw include. Include is a keyword. Okay, include. What is the difference between this include and this include? Okay, so the difference between this is keyword. Why? Because all in this word it use small case, okay, lower case. While this one it has uh, capital letter here, and it also lowercase here. So bila ada macam ni, so this one can be treat as identifier. Okay, for C++, for compiler, it will treat these two as different things. This is for keywords, this is for identifier. Okay, right, so this table contains list of reserved word in C++. Okay, you will not use all, but some of it. Mostly you will use include, int, okay, for, while, switch, itu adalah yang biasa kita akan gunakan. The last category in C++ token is identifiers. Okay, so identifiers, apa tu identifiers? Identifiers are names of things that appear in program, such as variables, constants, and functions. Okay, so some identifiers are predefined, others are defined by the user. So contoh predefined identifier adalah macam cin and cout. Cin is to tell to the compiler to receive input. Cout is to tell to the compiler to produce the output. Okay, so these two are predefined identifiers. While identifiers that created by the user is called user-defined. If the user want to create its own identifier, it must follow C++ rules. So yang ni you mesti ingat, right? This one you have to remember. Okay, all the rules in this. Okay, in order for you to create your own identifier, right? So you need to make sure your identifier is made up by letters, digits, or underscore. Okay, for example, here this is the legal column, this is illegal column. Okay, for example, here you have letters here, other underscore and other digit. So this one is considered legal identifier. If you have letters, you have digit here, but you have special symbol here, this is not legal. Okay, so the compiler will give you compiler error for this type of identifier. Okay, so the first identifier must be a letter or underscore. If you start your identifier with a number, okay, or special symbol like this one, it will produce you with a compiler error, right? So dia mesti start dengan huruf ataupun underscore, right? So there is must no space between character. For example, macam ni kan, my name. There is a space between them, between these two words. So if you have space, if you provide space between these two words, it will produce you with compiler error. Okay, so kalau you nak di dalam dua bentuk macam ni, two words like this, maybe you can make it as a one word, or you can put it underscore over there. Okay, there is no limitation for length, but only 32 characters will be identified as identifier. Right? The identifier are case sensitive and distinct. For example, kat sini ejaan dia sama kan? Even though the spelling is same, okay, for these four, but compiler will treat them as different. Okay, base 2 is another identifier. The second base 2 is another identifier. The third base 2 is another identifier, and also the last one will be treated as another identifier. Okay, so the keywords cannot be used as identifier. Let's say you want to use switch as your identifier name, or break as your identifier name, or for or while ataupun include. No, that one cannot be used as your identifier name. Okay, so if you want to use, let's say, switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, then you need to provide like this. Switch 1, okay, the S, you started with the capital letter. Okay, break. B to capital letter. So this one will make the compiler treat it as a non-keyword identifier. Okay, so you have to remember these rules if you want to create your own identifier. Okay, so yang ni you boleh buat kemudian. After this class, maybe you need to go back to this question to recognize which one is special words, special symbols, reserved word, predefined identifier, and user-defined identifiers from this program. Okay. Alright. So far, do you have any question? Wetang, ada soalan?
Doktor.
Boleh ke?
Boleh.
Apa yang boleh? Apa yang boleh?
Boleh faham.
Boleh faham.
Boleh faham.
Meanwhile, yang mana tu? Vivian,
After key out, then got this symbol.
is it the previous slide?
Yeah.
Yang ni Yang ni kah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. This one is actually, we use this when you want to use cout. Cout is a C++ instruction for display. Okay, cout. When you use cout, it must follow with this operator. This is an operator. Okay, apa nama operator ni? So the name for this operator is insertion operator. Okay, yang ni mana nak dapat dekat keyboard? Nampak tak kat keyboard kat mana? Can you find this operator on your keyboard?
Ada satu je. Kena buat 2 kali lah.
Ya, betul Aiman. Okay. Dalam kat keyboard, on your keyboard you see this symbol. Okay, so in order for you to produce the double macam ni, you have to type twice. Okay? Right. Boleh? Saya rasa kat kod ni ada salah sikit. Cin dia tak guna simbol ni. Nanti kita baiki Okay, any questions so far? Yang ni, this operator and another operator like this is actually in Cin. Sekejap, saya betulkan slide. Okay. Saya rasa this one. Yang ni adalah yang ni. Sorry yang ni adalah ni. Cin adalah yang ni. Sekejap, saya confirmkan. Dengan sekejap. Ada silap sikit tu. Okay, the output. The output should be like this. Okay. So the output should be like this. Use this symbol. Sorry So yang ni salah. Okay, yang ni. Alright, C out mesti guna insertion operator which is this. C in using this. Okay, this is extraction symbol. Operator. Okay, so nanti you betulkan please make sure you do the correction for this slide. For the C out and the C in. Okay, all the C out. Okay. Any more question? Ada soalan? Okay, kalau tak ada, kita go to the next subtopic which is preprocessor directive. So what is preprocessor directive? Preprocessor directive provides a library to the program. Okay, in that library contains functions and symbol needed by the program. Okay, so normally some books will refer library as header file. Okay, right. So how to call preprocessor directive in C++ program? You use this symbol, the hash. Kalau dalam ni you panggil apa? Hashtag but in C++ we call this as preprocessor directive. So this preprocessor directive will tell to the computer the locations of the code provided in the libraries. Okay. So to include the header, you need to use preprocessor directive include yang ni. Okay, if you provide this hash symbol include followed by the angle bracket, okay, open angle bracket, then you provide the header file name, kemudian you proceed with the close angle bracket. Okay, so for example, let's say you want to use C out and C in, then you need to include library of IO stream. If you need to use string in the program, then you need to include library of string. If you need to use square root, power, what else? Exponent, okay? So then you need to use to include CMath in the program. Okay? Yang ni kita skip. Okay, kita akan gunakan this style of writing the code, which is you will not use scope resolution operator. Scope resolution operator is actually this symbol. Yang ni Kalau kat keyboard you nampak dia seperti ni. Titik bertindih, colon. Okay. You will see on your keyboard this colon. Right? Then in order for you to use resolution operator, then you need to provide twice. Okay, so this is scope resolution operator. For your program, you will not use this scope resolution. Okay, you will not use this scope resolution. By not having this scope resolution program, your program will look simpler and neat. compared to this one. Kalau ni you nampak dia agak serabut sikit lah. Okay. And then when you are not using the scope resolution operator, then here you need to use the using namespace std. Okay. You need to provide once here, sekali sahaja di sini, using namespace std. Then you can use all this library, all this function without scope resolution operator. Okay. Right. So itu saja untuk preprocessor directive. You diperkenalkan, you are introduced by using preprocessor directive include. If you open the textbook, you will find preprocessor directive define and so many preprocessor directive. But for this class, normally you will use this one, the first one, the include preprocessor directive. Okay, the define preprocessor directive you will use when you want to declare constant. Okay, constant identifier. Yang ni nanti saya akan tunjukkan sekejap lagi. So we go to data types. Kenapa kita belajar data types? Why we learn about data types? Because let's say you have equation. Let's say Z equals to A plus B, right? So A may be any numbers and any integer numbers input by the user, any integer number entered by user. B is also any integer number entered by user. Okay, this is just an example. So the program need to calculate what is Z, what is the value for Z. So what is the value? Okay, right. So if you are given with this example, Z equals to A plus B, where A and B can receive any integer number entered by the user, and Z is the value that needed to be computed by your program. Okay, so what does it mean? The letter A, the letter B, and the letter Z is considered as identifier. Okay, ni adalah identifier. A, B, and Z are identifier. The name for this identifier, these three identifiers are determined by the user. Okay, so but these identifiers hold what type of data? So in this case, the A and B is fixed to receive any integer. B is to receive any integer value. Okay, so since A receive any integer values, B receive any integer value, supposedly the Z will produce any integer values. Faham tak? Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Faham Aiman okey tak?
Okay.
Divan clear tak? Faham tak yang ni? Data types.
Okay, but
Right. So kalau you lihat kat sini, so you have to know these identifiers will receive what types of data. For this example, this is integer, this is integer, and this is integer. The Z is integer, A is integer, B is integer. So how to declare in the program? If A is integer, we receive integer, B receive integer, Z should be produced integer. So how you want to declare? Okay. So to declare, these three identifiers given by identifiers, while these three are data types. Okay, right? So besides integer, there are float. Okay, data types float. There are double data types. What else? Okay, okay, there are bool. Bool. Bool is to receive true or false. Okay, float, double, integer. What are the difference between these three? Integer, float, and double. The value is in number, right? Betul tak? So kalau data tu, if the data is, for example, 10, 2.5, 5.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is what data type? The 10. 10 ni apa data type dia? 10 is represent data type of integer. Faham eh? You tahu tak integer tu apa?
Nombor bulat.
Integer tu apa?
Nombor.
Apa dia? Aiman?
Nombor.
Nombor?
Ha.
Betul, nombor. Okay, kalau you lihat, okay, if you refer back here, saya tulis balik. Integer, float, double. Okay, these three are data type. What is example of data for each of it? Example of data. These three data types receive number. Okay, receive number. If the number is 10 ataupun nombor bulat, the whole value, whole number, so this is integer data type. Okay. If you have a value, a number with with decimal, for example 1.5, a simple decimal, 1.56, this is float. Okay. While if it has long decimal number, for example 1.56789007, you can consider this one as double. Okay? Faham eh? Faham tak eh? Saya cuba nak fahamkan ni. Fahamkan awak. Do you have any questions?
Betul.
Siapa? Aziz. Any question, Aziz?
Yeah. Yeah, I have one question. What's the range of decimal points between float and double data types?
What's the
You know, for
difference?
floats,
Uh-huh.
yeah, for floats, you're having 2 decimal places there. And for double here, you're having something like almost 7 decimal places. How
Hmm.
do we identify? For example, if we have a value with 4 decimal places, how do we know if it's going to be a float or
Yes. How do you know, right? How do you
double?
know? Okay.
Yeah.
For example, your matrix number. Your matrix number is matrix. Your matrix number is, let's say, AE 20 berapa? 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, okay?
Okay.
AE 201234, right? So this is number. This part is number. This 2 is letter, right? This is identifier name. So how can I define this identifier? Is it double? Is it integer? Or is it float? Or is it bool? Or is it char? Okay? How you want to identify? So you have to have a view on what type or what data will be entered by the user. So in this case for matrix number, since it has a combinations of letter and number, it's supposed to be the whole thing is can be defined as char data type or string data type. It means that the matrix number has char data type or matrix number has string data type. Okay? Right. For example, another example. Let's say you have additional, okay, it's not additional operator. Let's say you want to withdraw some money, right, from the ATM machine. You need to enter, the program will ask you how many you want to withdraw money. Okay, withdraw money. This is identifier name. Okay, amount that you want to withdraw. Amount to withdraw from ATM machine. Okay, can you imagine you are on you in front of you is ATM machine. So if you want to withdraw, what is the number that you want to enter? To punch in the on the keyboard.
It depends on the amount I'm having and the
Okay.
amount I want to withdraw.
Okay, it depends on you, right? If you have
Yes.
5,000 on the on your account, in your account, let's say you want to withdraw 1,000. You can also withdraw 50. You can also withdraw 20, right? So it depends on you. Okay, but the number here, as you can see here, the number is not with decimal number, right?
Yes.
Okay, if this number is number entered by user is not in decimal, then you know this should be integer.
Yeah, those are integers.
Okay, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in this case, I can conclude that the identifier name for withdraw money is integer type.
Yes.
Okay, faham eh? Yang lain faham? Aiman faham?
Saya tanya jap. Contoh kalau kita masukkan amount to withdraw tu
Uh-huh.
1000.00 kita jadi
1000.00
kira lah.
like this. You want to
Ah.
enter like this. It's still okay. Okay?
So dia still
Because
integer ataupun dia jadi float.
you can, but the machine will not allow you to withdraw the cent here, right? Let's say you want to 1050 cent, right? Betul tak? Dia tak akan benarkan you ni kan? So, apa yang dia buat, nak tak nak, you have to withdraw the integer number by using integer number. So that's how your program can be you can limit your program. Okay, by even though the user enter like this 1050 cent, since you said that your program will not allow any cent value here, then you will need to declare this variable as integer. Okay? Faham tak Aiman? Ini kalau dekat ATM machine, dia tak benarkan you keluarkan yang ni, keluarkan yang cent tu. Right? Let's say the discount. Discount ke? Tak nak lah. Price of item. Price of items, it depends on the item, right? It can be RM10, 50 sen. It can be RM11. It can be 1099 cent. Right? So the item price is a example of identifier name. So what is the data type for this item price? What do you
I
think?
think those ones are float.
Apa dia?
Those are float data types.
What is data type for what is the suitable data type for item price?
I think those ones are float.
Okay, Aziz, what do you think?
I said I think those ones are float data
Float.
types.
Okay, Aziz kata float. Aiman kata apa? Aiman? Kalau Aiman apa? Aiman pun kata float.
Yes.
Wang rasa apa Wang?
Float.
Yes, float. Betul. Okay. So, the most suitable data type for item price is float. Even though ada integer kat sini, right? But since most of the item mesti ada decimal number. And you need to let the program count this decimal number. So, if the program is compulsory to receive this decimal number, then you can use float or you can use double. Okay, either two. Okay, either this double or either float. Okay, faham tentang data type? Right.
Doctor, as you said earlier, does that mean we can use double data types and float data types interchangeably?
Yes.
Okay. Even if those kind of even if those values that are given are something like 2 decimal places or 3 decimal places, we can still consider them as either float or
Yes. Yes,
double
Aziz. Yes.
Okay.
But you have to keep in mind that when you use double, your program will require larger memory. Okay, so if you are using float, it will use a small amount of memory compared to double. Okay, so let's say if the identifier wants to hold small decimal number, and that one is accurate enough, then I think better you use float. Okay, but if you think that the
Okay.
identifier needs to hold long decimal number, then I think you need to consider that one as a double. Okay,
Okay.
right?
So that means it even depends on the kinds of value.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay,
Thanks, ma'am.
all right. So we finish about this data type. One more thing is about char. Char is another data type. Okay, another data type. For example, let's say your name, my name of students, student name. Okay, student name can be anything here. It's contain combinations of more than one letter. For example, nama saya Zarina Tukiran. Okay, it consists more than one letter. Chin. Okay, it consider more than one letter. Okay, Vivian. Okay, it consider more than one letter. So this input for name student is identifier name, and it can hold more than one letter. Okay, it can hold more than one letter. So this one is considered as string data type. Okay, if the identifier can hold more than one letter, you will consider this identifier as string. Okay, but what is the difference between string and char? Char only can hold one letter. Okay, only can hold one letter. Okay, give you another example. Let's say you have grade as identifier name. What do you think the most suitable data type for grade? What do you think? Is it
Um,
char or is it string?
Char.
it should be string data type. String.
Okay, Aziz kata string. Tadi siapa kata char?
Saya.
Amirul. Amirul kata char. Okay, kita refer balik pada dia punya definition. The definitions of char data type, it can hold only one character, one letter. Okay, can hold one letter. String, what does it mean by string? It can hold more than one letter. So the grade. For this course, maybe you can get A. What is the highest grade for in UTSM?
A plus.
A plus. Okay, this input one character. This input has more than one character. So the most suitable is string. Okay, sebab dia ada lebih daripada satu character. Boleh faham
Faham doktor?
Faham.
Okay, yang lain faham Wetang? You faham Wetang?
It's the So
Faham.
Okay. Right, so kalau faham kita habis yang ni. String pun habis. Now we go to the output. Right, output. What does it mean by the output? Output is to show the results of the standard input-output device. In this case, you will display all your program output on the computer screen. Okay. In order for you to tell to the C++ compiler to produce the output, you need to use the cout and the operator. That operator is called as insertion operator. Okay. So in the yellow box is the general syntax on how you need to write the code for cout. Okay, cout followed by the insertion operator, then contain a manipulator or expression, and another insertion operator if you need more than one manipulator or expressions. Okay, for example here, okay, dia kata manipulator is used to format the output. Expression is used for evaluated and its value will be printed in the current insertion point. Okay, so for example, let's say you have this: x is equal to 5, y is 6, y is minus y plus x. So this, then you want to display the results of x and y. What is the current of x and y? So you use cout, the insertion symbol, okay, and then with the double quotation here is a manipulator, while this is expression. Okay, so by having this line of statement, then you will get this output. X is produced by this first manipulator. 6 is produced by the first expression. Y is produced by this second manipulator. 11 is a second expression, right? Then ENDL is manipulator, meaning that press any key to continue is printed on the next line. So to tell to the compiler to print this message on the next line is by using ENDL. Okay. So this is a list of escape sequences in C++ that allow you to control the output. Instead of using ENDL, you can also use \n for new line. Okay, and later on you can try to use \t, \b, and so forth. Okay. So yang ni saya nak you cuba. Tapi perlu tak? Okay. So try yourself one ni. What exactly you want to show you is by having this style of writing the code. As you can see here, is quite different between first code and the second code, but it produces same output but in different format. Okay, kalau macam ni, you have 4 lines of code but single output. Okay, sorry, it's not single output. The output is printed in single line. While having this line of codes, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. The output is printed on 4 lines. Okay. For this one, in order you to produce only 2 lines of output, maybe you can can give the instruction in 1 line like this, or the same output like this can be produced by use different style of writing in the second box and the third box. Okay, right? So the difference is where you put the \n and also the endl. \n and endl command have a same meaning, which is to enter to the next line. Okay, it will print to the next line. Okay, right. So let's say you want to, can you predict what is the output for this following segment code? You have this: see out, welcome to be my be bank, enter your password. So what is the output for this Q1? Can you
Can I
type
try?
your answer on the chat on the chat box? Okay, you can type your answer on the chat box for Q1. So what is the answer for Q1? What do you think? Anyone? Okay. On the same line, Aziz. No. Vivian, this is not complete answer. Wong Ju Ming. Yes, you got the correct answer. Okay. Right. So question 1, please refer to answer provided by Wong Ju Ming. How about question 2? How about question 2? For question 1, please refer answer from Wong Jun Ming. Okay. So question number 2. What is the output for the question number 2? Can you predict the output? Okay. Dang, that one is also for question number 2, isn't it? Okay. As that one is not correct. It's not correct. Please look back carefully the question number 2. Yes, Devan. So question number 2, please refer to the answer provided by Devon. Okay, how about question number 3? Aziz. The press any key to continue should be not in the second line. Press any key to continue should be the last line. Okay, after the enter password. Can you rewrite the answer for question number 3, Aziz? There. Okay, so question number 3. Please refer to the answer provided by Aziz. Then question number 4. What do you think question number 4? What is the output for the question number 4? Hazan eh? Okay, Hazan. Okay, question number 4. Anyone? That's correct, Hazan. Okay, so question number 4, please refer to the answer provided by Hazan. Okay, so hopefully all of you understand so far for this topic, the output topic, before we proceed to the next subtopic. Can we proceed? Or you want to take a rest?
Take 5 ke?
Take 5 penat? Saya yang bercakap. Okay lah, boleh lah. Take 5. So now jam saya ialah 3.25. Kita akan jumpa balik 3.30. Okay? So we rest for 5 minutes. Okay, class, we start. For the next subtopic, are you ready?
Sure, man.
Okay, Azan, Vivian, okay, Devon pun okay. Chin, are you there? Okay, Chin pun ada. Amirul dah ada? Oh, Amirul je belum ada. Aiman dah ada?
Ada.
Oh, okay. Amirul dah ada. Aiman dah ada?
Ada.
Ada. Siapa lagi yang saya tak sebut nama Kiyi? Kiyi ada? Okay. Kiyi pun dah ada. Amirul ada 2 nama. Kaiwan. Kaiwan pun dah ada. Okay. Semua dah ada. Aiman pun dah ada. Right. So the next subtopic is about input. So this input is to instruct the C++ program to receive input from the user. Okay. Right. So input, there are 2 types of data, which is it the constant, or is a data that can be modified during the program execution. So if the data type is constant, meaning that throughout the program execution the data is fixed, right? Whilst for variables, during the program execution the data can be modified. Okay. Right. So how to tell the C++ that this is the constant, okay, constant input. So by using this const keyword, okay, you use const keyword followed by data type, identifier name, then assignment operator, and then the value. Okay, so this is the syntax. Right, for example here, let's say pi, you want to the constant value for pi is 3.14. So you can tell to the compiler by using const keyword, okay, by using this format. So const, this is double, is the data type, pi, the assignment operator, and then the value, right? There is another method to define the constant by using preprocessor directive define. So this is the format if you are using a define, where you need to provide the hash define, the keyword define, followed by identifier name, then followed by its value. For example, pi, if you want to declare it by using define, so hash define, identifier name, and the value. Okay. So if the data can be modified throughout the program, so that one is considered as variable. So variable, you need to declare it first before you can use in the program. In order for you to declare the variable by using this format, where you need to you need to state the data type followed by identifier name. If you have more than one identifier for the same data type, so you can list the identifier by separating it by using comma. Okay, so for example here, let's say limit amount whole 500. So let's say this is the initial value for limit amount. The data type for limit amount is double. So you want to declare it, so you can provide it in like this statement. Okay. You can also provide like this char ch, meaning that ch is identifier name. This identifier can hold char value. Okay, char data type. The counter here, int counter equals to 100, meaning that this identifier hold an integer data type initialized with 100. Okay, so the key points here is, in order for you to declare the variable, this is the format. The data type, start with the data type and its identifier name. Okay, and make sure lastly you provide the semicolon to state that this is the end of statement. Okay, okay, so there are two ways to assign value into the variable. First, by using assignment statement. Second, by using input statement. Okay, assignment statement is, this is assignment statement, equal, okay, yang sama dengan tu. And the second one is input statement, is by using cin statement. Okay, when you are using cin statement, then you need to use another operator, which is this operator. Okay, the extraction operator. So if you want to use assignment statement, then you need to provide the variable name, okay, or identifier name, followed by the equal or assignment statement, then followed by its expression. Right? For example, like this, num1. Num1 is variable name or identifier name, okay, followed by the assignment operator and the expression. The value is hold by the num1. So this is the mathematical equation to get the cylinder area. Okay, this is the value hold by initial name. Right. So quick review for assignment statement. Let's say you are given with this statement. Suppose that n1, n2, and n3 are integer variables and the following segment codes are executed in sequence. What is the last value stored in n1, n2, and n3? Okay. So yang ni, you can do it later on. So now we go to the second method to assign the value to the identifier. You can use cin and then the extraction operator. Okay. For example here, for the first line here, cin extraction operator, only single extraction operator if you have only one input. Okay, if you need two inputs, then you can provide two extraction symbols here. Okay, cin extraction operator followed by identifier, then extraction operator followed by the second identifier. Okay. Also, you can provide more than two inputs. For example, here it provides you with three inputs, cin, okay, and first extraction operator, first identifier, second extraction operator, second identifier, third extraction operator, and third identifier. Right. So far, do you have any question? Takkan? Macam senang je kan? Okay. So my question is, let's say for the second statement here, cin, base, and height. Can I rewrite this one statement into two cin statements? For example, cin, base, cin, height. Does it produce the same action as in this statement? What do you think? Can I provide like this? Separate statement, cin base and then cin height, instead of only one statement like this, like on the slide. What do you think?
Yeah, I think
Can C++ execute the command without error? Boleh? Sorry man, just lost connection. Okay. Ki, what do you think? Can I rewrite this second statement into this statement? Ki ada? Ada. Okay. Ki ada. So what do you think, Ki? Boleh ke tak dia execute? Boleh tak saya tulis kalau satu line macam tu dia satu line tu saya jadikan dia dua line. Boleh tak? Okay Vivian, thank you. Vivian tolong jawabkan. Dia kata boleh. Yes. You can write the second statement, instead one line into two lines. Okay. The difference between this style of code and this style of code, this you provide it in one line, and here in this one you provide in two lines. Okay, the third statement you can also rewrite the third statement into using 3 cin. Okay, temp 1 cin, temp 2, and then cin temp 3. Okay, so you can write like this style, or you can write by using this style. Okay, the difference is only the number of code. In this slide, to receive input for temp 1, temp 2, and temp 3, it only require one line of statement. But here, it requires 3 lines of statements, which is much longer than this one. But it produces the same output. The compiler will execute it in a similar way. Okay. Alright. For example, this is not example. Quick review. Write the C++ statement to store these numbers. Let's say you need to store the number 23 and 7 into the variable feet and inches respectively. All the numbers are entered via the keyboard. Meaning that 23 dan 7 ni akan dimasukkan melalui keyboard. Then this 23 should be assigned to the feet, while 7 will be assigned to the inches. So what do you think? The command, the C++ command to store this value to its respective variable. Can anyone provide the code on the chat box? Anyone to try? Anyone want to try? If the number need to be entered, 23 and 7 need to be entered by the keyboard by using keyboard, meaning that you need to use the second method, which is cin. Okay. Okay. Key bagi declaration. To declaration kan key. That one is declaration. int feed is declaration. Hazan cin feed. Okay. Right. I will comment later on Hazan codes. Okay, what if you can refer to key instructions there, int feed semicolon followed by int inches. That one is for declaration. int feed int inches should be ends with the semicolon key. So these two lines you provided here is for declaring the feed, the variable feet and inches. The question is you need to store the value of 23 and 7 into the variable feet and inches. This value are entered via keyboard. So what do you think? Yes, Devon. Itu jawapan dia. Okay, please refer the answer provided by Devon. Okay, where you need to provide cin, feet, inches. Okay, by having this cin, then any numbers that entered by the user, let's say 23 and 7, will be stored in the inches. 23 will be stored inside the feet. Okay. So ni Devon punya jawapan lah. Right. So however, as you can see on Devon spell on C here, Devon provide capital C. The capital C that you use in cin will produce compile error. Okay, because all the keywords must be in small case. Okay, lower case. right? So any question? Okay, ingat the key provide the declaration which is correct, but it does not answer the question. Okay, key provide the declaration part, and then Devon provide the how to store the value into its respective variables. Okay. Hazan, you provide totally incorrect statement for C in. Okay, for example, you provide C in feet equals to 23, inches equal to 7, and then ENDL. Okay. Like this expression should not be in the C-in statement. Okay, C-in is for receive input. Okay, receive input from where? In this case, from the keyboard. So what you need to do is just provide the variable, not the value, because the value is entered by the user. Okay, that one is my first comment. Second comment is on the ENDL. ENDL should not be provided when you are using C-in. Okay, ENDL is, you cannot use it with C-in. This is incorrect. Why? Because ENDL is to format the output. ENDL is to format the output. What do you want to format? Meaning that format the output, the ENDL allow you to go the circle to the next line. So you can only use ENDL with cout. Okay, ENDL can be used with cout, not with the C-in. Okay. Let's discuss about Devon code. The new code. INT feed. You ada underscore sini Devon. Why? Why you have underscore? If this is the declaration, INT is the data type, feed is the variable name or identifier name, and this is the value. And if you refer this as declaration, this is what we call logic error, because you assume the compiler will provide this as a declaration. The compiler will be introduced with this variable feed, which hold integer data type. But having the semicolon, the underscore here, the compiler understand that this line is to provide 24 is assigned to this identifier. The name for this identifier is int feed. Okay, int feed is no longer data type and identifier name, no longer recognized by the compiler as data type component and identifier name. Since you are using underscore here, so the compiler will recognize this as one word, which is the compiler will identify this as identifier name. Okay, it will recognize as identifier name. Just because you are using underscore between integer and also the name of variable. Okay. Okay, key bagi integer feed 23, integer inches equals to 7, C out inches. Boleh? Boleh key. Okay, int key bagi begini. Integer feed equals to 23, int inches equals to 7. Right? C out feed, C out inches. Okay. So the missing part is semicolon to separate this code, this statement and this statement. Okay, semicolon put here, you need to put semicolon here. This one can be executed by the program. This one also can store the value of 23 into feed. 23 to feed, 7 into inches. But it does not answer the question, which is it states that all the numbers, these two numbers are entered via the keyboard. Okay. So apa yang you buat kat sini is actually you initialize initial feed with 23. Here in inches, you initial inches with 7. Okay. Right. Hopefully faham benda ni. Tapi saya nampak you dah mula faham. Cuma there is a sikit-sikit lah silap tu terbiasa. Tapi you dah boleh buat code you sendiri. That one is a very good I think this is a very good understanding on this topic. Okay, kalau you dah boleh buat simple code macam ni. Okay, so can you try this one? Write a C++ program for the following program output. You are given with these expected results, expected program output, where the program will instruct the user by giving a message, enter your ID. Then as a user, the user will enter 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the program will provide a message, hello 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice to meet you. Okay, so this is the question. So can you provide a code on how to get this program output? Boleh cuba tak? Saya bagi masa kot dekat you untuk you cuba. Okay, so if anyone want to share their answer on the chat box, you are welcome. So we can discuss and improve your understanding on this topic. I think I give you 5 minutes to construct your C++ code for this. Try yourself number 2. Dapat tak? Oh, Aiman dah bagi. Aiman kata and integer enter your ID, INT 1234, sit out. Hello 1234. Nice to meet you. Aiman, you are using INT. Ini dah ini lain sangat tau. Maksudnya ni dah okay, before we discuss your answer, anyone wants to share? Okay, Weta dia initialize dulu ID with 1 2 3 4, then enter your ID. Hello 1 2 3 4, nice to meet you. Okay, there is a logic kat situ. Okay, cuma nanti kita discuss yang ni. Okay, anyone else selain daripada Aiman? Thank you Aiman and Weta. Ada sesiapa lagi nak share? Cukup 3? I only need 3 sample of questions on the chat box. 3 samples of answer on the chat box so that before we proceed with the discussion. Okay, Amirul bagi dia declare dulu int id initialize int id equals to tb190098, enter your id, cr, hello, nice to meet you. Okay, jawapan Amirul lebih kurang jawapan Weta. Okay, jawapan Amirul almost same with Weta. Right? Okay, so let's discuss. You are given with this expected program output. Okay, if we evaluate the program output here, you can identify a few things. Okay, the first statement will be displayed by the first statement, enter your ID with the colon, is a message display, it's a prompt actually. It's a prompt by the program what to enter. Okay, prompt by the program to instruct the user what to enter. Then this 1 2 3 4 is the input, is the value entered by user. Okay, then hello 1 2 3 4, nice to meet you. This statement display by the program a message. Okay, so this part 1 2 3 4 is actually depending on this input If the user enter 1, 2, 3, 4, the hello will begin. The message will like with similar with this one. But if the user enter let's say macam you bagi tahu tadi tu, Amirul bagi DEE 190098, right? So hello 1, 2, 3, 4 is no longer there. It will replace with hello DE 190098. Nice to meet you. Okay, so meaning that this message 1, 2, 3, 4 will be based on the input by the user. Okay, so if you evaluate like this, if you evaluate the program as I mentioned just now, so this part prompt by the program can be implemented by using cout statement. To receive input from the user is cin statement, and to produce the output, the last output is by using cout. Okay, so what is the suitable answer for this? Okay, so the first is to display enter your ID, to prompt by the program to instruct the user to enter their ID. So you can provide cout, enter your ID. Okay, so since this is the only thing that it need to do, so it will end the statement by providing the semicolon. Then it will receive input. Let's say this one, this value will be assigned or will be stored in the ID. So cin ID semicolon. Okay, so since this word is depending on the ID, jadi dia punya command is cout hello display whatever ID inputted by the user, then exclamation marks. Since I don't have enough space here, so I will provide another cout to display the nice to meet you. Okay, right.
Doktor,
Ya,
dia tak perlu display ke?
apa yang display?
Bila
Saya
kita keluar hello 1 2 3 4 nice to meet you tu, dia tak perlu letak display.
Display tu, saya buat arahan display tu. Nampak tak arahan display saya kat mana? Nampak tak Amirul? Kat mana arahan display saya? 1, 2, 3, 4 dia masukkan ketika cin ID. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 will be entered during the compiler execute this line. So to display 1, 2, 3, 4 is by using cout hello ID. ID when the compiler see ID, it means that it will refer to this. So what value insert during this time, this line? So when the compiler refer to here, okay, it will see the number that hold by the ID. So it will display 1, 3, 4. Okay,
Okay, faham.
faham
Okay.
Ah,
Faham.
right? And ada soalan yang lain? Vivian boleh faham tak?
Boleh?
Faham Vivian? Okay,
Hmm? Hmm.
right. So what I want to add in this program is actually, I remove this. Okay. Since you are using ID here as a identifier name to receive inputs from the user, then you need to provide the declaration for the ID. Okay, declaration for ID. Right. So how to declare ID? Just now we learned to declare the ID, what type of data hold by the identifier name. Okay, the declaration should be followed for this format. The data type followed by identifier name. Right? And then lastly with semicolon. Okay. Nanti saya jawab Wei Tang, I will answer your question later on. Okay?
Okay.
Right. So we do the declaration first since we have identifier name used in this program, which is ID. So in order for you to declare, this is the format to do the declaration. Okay. So the identifier name is ID. What is the data type? What is the suitable data type here?
I think it's string.
Pardon?
String data type.
String data type. Okay, you can provide string. String ID. Okay, kenapa string? Why string? Why you choose string? Hazan, why you choose string?
Because it might involve more than one letter and more than one value.
Okay, right? So because, for example, just now, tadi DE190098. This is a combinations of letter and number. So when you have a value that combine between the number and letter, so better you declare it as a string. Okay, so you can declare it as a string ID. Okay, that one is for the declaration part. Right? Okay, situ saja. Right, so I go back to Wei Tan question. Kalau last statement tulis out, hello ID, nice to meet you. Boleh tak? Boleh? Boleh Wei Tan. Okay, you can provide only one out for the last statement yang ni. For the last statement, instead of 2 out here, you can only provide 1 out. Okay, you can refer Tan Wei Tan statements on how to write the only by using 1 out. Okay. Ada soalan lain? Hopefully Aiman faham Aiman. Sebab yang Aiman tulis tu lain sangat tu.
Faham.
Faham Okay.
Ah,
Tak apa. Kita ada banyak masa untuk belajar benda menulis kod ni. You have this week until end of this semester to enhance your skill in writing the code. So if you cannot catch up now, hopefully you can catch up by next week, and so on. But you must put your effort on understanding this topic. Okay. Alright. Sekarang dah 4:30. Okay, this is another subtopic for expression. Expression is more to mathematical equation. Okay. Alright. So this one. Okay. For the expression, let's say you are given with this equation. Okay, let's say you are given with this mathematical equation or this expression. What you need to do is translate this mathematical equation to the C++ expression or C++ statement. Okay, how to do this? How to change this mathematical equation to the C++? Okay, so a squared plus b squared plus c squared. It means that a times a, right? Here b times b, here c times c. This is plus and this is equal, and this computed value for a squared plus b squared plus c squared will be stored in y. Okay, so based on that understanding, then you need to provide the C++. The C++ format to do the expression is you need to provide the identifier name equals to expression. So in this case, this part is expression part, while the y is identifier name. So if I translate this into C++, you will have y equals to a squared, a times a, this is times, in C provide with star. So a star a, which is a times a, plus b times b, plus c times c. And if this is the end of statement, then provide the semicolon. Okay? Any question? If you have square root a plus b equals to c, in C++, the square root is sqrt. It's a function of sqrt. Okay, so how you want to write this in C++? By using by referring this thing. So you need to identify which part is expression, which part is identifier name. So this part is expression and this part is for identifier. So when I convert to C++, C is sqrt a plus b, a plus b. Okay, and if this is end of statement, provide the semicolon. Right? Hopefully faham. Can a times a be written as a power of 2? In C++, this operator is not recognized. Okay, it's not recognized in C++. Okay, if you have a squared plus b power of 3 equals to z. So how to this is so simple. Let's say power of 10. Do you want to convert this v times v for 10 times? Of course not. Okay, so how to do? We can use another function provided in the C++, what we call as POW. P-O-W, POW. POW is stand for power. POW, eh? Okay, when you use POW, POW will take two expressions. First and second, separated by comma, right? So what is in the first one? What is in the second? Second is the value of power. In this case, 10. For the first is B. Okay? So can I write this? Can I rewrite this inside instead of A times A like this by using POW? Can I? By using POW.
Boleh.
Boleh? Ya. Yeah. Macam mana tu? Can you write the code on the chat box? How to provide a squared by using POW? Can you provide the code on the chat box? Yes, thank you Wong Jun Mei. Thank you. Amirul pun thank you. Okay, so in this case, this one can also, you can write also this one by using POW. So POW A2 lah. Jadi, the whole equation will be Z equals to POW A2 plus POW B10. Semicolon. Okay? Right? Hopefully you understand this, the mathematical equation. So when you are using POW, when you are using square root, okay, you need to provide another header, another preprocessor directive, which is include CMath. Okay, right? So in this, I think in order for you to write the complete code, that one we will learn on next week for For today, we only learn about part by part. Later on, hopefully you can combine all your knowledge that you gain today during the lab session. Okay. Right, so this is operators and operator precedence. As I mentioned to you earlier, the operators are divided into three, which is arithmetic, which is have a addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and remainder. And also the equality and relational operators. So this is a list of relational. In mathematical, the operator looks like this, but in C plus look like this. Okay, you have to remember this. While for equality in standard operator is like this, but for the C plus plus is like this. Okay, hopefully you remember this so that you can use it in your problem solution. Normally, the equality and the relational operator is used in chapter 3, which is when you are using control structure, the repetition and selection structure. So this one I will not go in details because this one will be learned again in the chapter 3. This is also in chapter 3 under repetition. So I think this one will be discussed again in chapter 3. Okay, this is casting. Right. Kita ada setengah jam lagi. Do you have class after this? No. Alright. Let's try this number 3, where you need to compute area of circle. Alright, in SDM, the first step is requirement specification, right? So in this requirement spec, okay, this is the first step in SDM. So in this step, you need to understand what this program need to do. Actually, this program needs the program able to prompt to the user to bukan, salah. The program should be capable to compute. Program able to compute area of circle. So what is the formula for area of circle? Ingat tak? Area is equal to what is
2 pi r square.
2 pi
Pi r
r?
square. Salah.
Salah. Apa tu? Pi r square.
Pi r square.
Okay, pi r square, where r is radius. So how r will get the value? What do you think? For your program, for this program, how the value of r is inserted in the program? Is it by using? Is it you will instruct the user to enter the value of r?
I think user have to be prompted.
Okay, I think the most suitable is better r is entered by user. Okay, R is radius, and R is entered by user. Let's say this is the requirement spec. Okay, so we go to the second step, which is data analysis. The input here, what is the input for this program? Of course, the R, the radius, and also what? The pi.
Circumference.
The pi, the constant. Okay, the pi. Pi
Okay.
whole 3.14. Let's say you fix the pi value is 3.14. So the output, the program should be able to produce area. Okay, max or process is area equals to pi r squared. And then is there any constraint? I think better at this moment, none, no constraint. Okay, then we go to the third design. Third step. Third step is design. Okay, we provide it in design the algorithm in flowchart. Okay, we start with begin, we end with end. So what is the first step for the flowchart? What do you think?
User would be you allow prompt user to declare, to
Yeah,
enter radius.
prompt and enter R.
Dia
Betul kan? Macam ni lah kan bayangan awak kan? Okay, and then after get the input from the user for R, so apa dia akan buat?
They can read R.
Read R kat sini. Saya dah combinekan dia. Prompt and enter R. So dia read R lah. Okay. Lepas tu?
The next
Lepas tu apa? Next? What's next?
Display.
the next should be process.
Calculate lah.
You should calculate the
Yes,
area.
calculate.
Then
Area equals to pi r
Yeah.
squared.
R square.
Then it will
That's it.
display
Display area.
It will print area.
Okay. Then end.
Then end.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. To change. What is pi in C++? 22/7. Since it's a constant, you cannot provide the expression 22/7 in C++. This is not allowed. So what you need to do is you need to convert it into one value first, which is, let's say you divide it, then you get the output 1.14. So you just provide 1.14. This is pi, right? But pi, you cannot, there is no symbol pi on your keyboard. So what you need to do is convert this, you need to spell it out. So pi. Okay, you cannot use this, use word. Okay, you have to spell it out to represent the symbol. Okay, right, so this is just the algorithm. Now we go to the implementation. So how to write the code to prompt and enter R? What is the C++ code? We go to the step number 4. which is implementation. Okay, prompt and enter R. What do you think? Prompt, C out. Enter R, right? Then to read the value of R, you need this instruction, cin. Cin with extraction operator R. Okay. Then for this step, the calculate area in R square, then you will provide it area sama dengan pi is pi times R squared. R squared, you can provide it as area sama dengan pi darab pau R2. Okay. Then to display is using Cout, right? Cout what? Cout area. Okay. Right, so far boleh follow? So far, do you have any questions so far? If you do not have any question, then I will provide you. Hazan, yeah?
Under the implementation, is it really compulsory to use header or not?
Header.
Yeah.
The header,
Like
the include. Yeah. Yes, that one is on if you want to write the whole program. Okay. At this point I just draft at this moment I just want to draft the code. Then later on I will show you how you will implement it on the compiler. Okay. Right. Any question? Any more question? Okay, kalau tak ada, just now we said that the pi hold constant value, right? Constant value of 3.14. We learned earlier that the constant value can be declared by using two ways. Either you can use const keyword or you can use define preprocessor directive. Let's say in this exercise we want to use const keyword. So how you want to provide? Okay, you provide const keyword followed by its data type, which is, let's say I want to use double, and then followed by its name and assignment operator and the value, the constant value, then semicolon. So that's the way on how you want to represent the pi using const keyword. Okay, this is a partial of code, not a complete code. So now I show you how you want to transfer this draft of code to the compiler. Okay, let's go to our online compiler. You ada link dia tak? Do you have the links for compiler? Okay, I give you on the chat box. Okay, you click on that one, on that link. Okay, semua dah? Semua dah dapat? So this is the step number 4, where we will provide this part into the compiler. Okay. So when you click on that link, it should be connect you to the website. Okay, in this website, you will have this window with dark background. In order for you to change the background color from the dark to light, so you can go to this gear symbol. Okay, gear symbol at top, right top. Click on that. Editor theme, you change to dark or to light. It's up to you which one do you want. Okay, that's suitable for you. So this is the setting for this editor. Okay, so if you choose dark, you will get dark background. If you choose light, then you will get the white background. Okay, so here at the top, you can see the language here. It lists all the programming language in this compiler, provided by this compiler. So since we are using C++, so make sure you choose C++ from the menu. Okay. So what are the importance button for this compiler is actually run button and also stop button. Okay, you can use save to save the code, save your code to your drive. Okay, when you open this website, it will provide you by default with main.cpp. CPP is the extension for C++ program. Okay, main is the default name for the program. Okay, as you can see here, at on the left you will see number. So this is to indicate the line, the line number for each statement, right? From line 1 to line 7, this is the documentation part by using command. Okay, it use multiple line command by using this symbol, the backslash and star, and also star and backslash. Okay, then this is the first statement in this program on line number 9, using namespace std followed by the name of compulsory function in the program. Then this is to indicate begin. Begin of what? Begin of main function. And on line 18, this is to indicate end of main function. Okay, return 0 is a compulsory to indicate this is the end of program for main function. Okay, so you can provide any codes, your codes, this code between this to this one. Okay, so let's say we remove this symbol, this statement, then we change with okay, we input this one, the first statement, const double pi equals to 3.14. So const double pi equals to 3.14, then followed by cout, enter R, So then followed by cin R, then followed by area equals to pi times pow R2. No need to give a space between them, no need. Then lastly is C out area. Okay, dah siap ke? Right, so then after you finish type the code, then try to run the code. Slow sikit. Sekejap Kenapa slow? So slow. Okay, now it's compiled the program. What to share, Azan? Doktor saya nak tunjuk sekejap tentang satu dan dua. What do you mean, Ki? You want to share your screen ke? Saya nak rujuk sekejap tadi langkah satu dan dua. Oh, okay. This one ke? Is it this? Tak, dalam design sana tu. Oh, ni. Yang ni ke? Okay. Right, so as you can see here, after the compiler compiles my program, okay, you see there are so many errors in this, in my program. Okay, right, so how you want to fix the program? How you want to fix the error? So if you have many errors, so what you need to do is to always, I repeat this, if you have many errors, please always start to fix the first error. You have to scroll to the top and find the first error. Try to overcome the first error first, then run again, and then if it has error again, you need to fix again the most top error. Okay, so in this case, I show you how you can learn about this message main.cpp, meaning that the error is on main.cpp line 18. Okay, it states that error R was not declared in this scope. Okay, as you can see here, we use R identifier name, but we didn't declare the data type for R. So what I need to do is to do the declaration. If the R can can hold a value of float, so you provide float R. Okay, then after you fix the first error, you go to run, click on run, compile again, and then it provide you another error because still this has a error. So in this error it state that error occurs in main.cpp line 21. So you click on that, and then this line, it means this line has an error. What of error? The error is the area was not declared, meaning that this identifier should be declared first. So you declare dulu, area is, let's say, also float. So you declare area as float. Then try again to run. Then it states that there is an error for PAL. PAL was not declared in this scope. So the PAL is used in line number 22. Since PAL is a function, predefined function, provided in the library of CMAT, so you must include the preprocessor directive. Okay, then try to run again. Okay, now this is considered success program. There's no error, no compile error. Then you can provide the value. What's the value for R? Let's say 1. Okay, since you give your data over there, now we move to the step number 5 in STM, which is testing. Now we do the testing whether the program can provide the correct output or not. So let's say I put it 1 over there. So should be the area will the value will be displayed 3.14. Okay, betul tak? So 3.14. Okay, nampak tak dekat screen you? Now test let's say you for the simple program you need to test at least with three sets of data. Okay, when you test with 3 sets of data and all the results give you the correct results, then you can verify that the program is correct. Okay, so let's say for the next data type, kesiannya Hazan. Okay, I understand that. Okay.
Doktor,
Yeah.
kenapa saya punya yang compiler ni, dia
Ha-ha.
keluar situ server cannot ni, server tak boleh respon. Lepas
Oh,
tu dia tak boleh.
biasa. Itu biasa untuk
Oh.
online
Oh.
compiler. So what you need to do is tunggu dia settle sekejap then tekan balik run button.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say this is my second set of data. So if you calculate, it will give you the correct output. Then try to for the third, let's say 1.1 with decimal number. So if this is the correct, then you can verify that the program is correct. Okay, this is for step number 5. So when you want to produce the step number 6, which is documentation, then you provide there, you state that who is the programmer. Let's say my name. For the date, today is October 27. Here go. Okay. Then give the program description. Okay, so after that you give the key description on the key statements. Let's say I want to give for these two, describe about this one and also this one. So for these two, I provide at the top, I said that this is prompt to enter radius. Okay, and then this is to compute area, and